In this video, we're going to cover how to deal with a difficult client. Don't you just hate dealing with abusive clients? If so, you have come to the right video because we don't put up with that around here. And we're going to show you how to go from chaos to calm right now. So what are the 14 steps that are required when dealing with a difficult client? Why do they do what they do? It's really helpful to understand that, actually. And how can you protect yourself? We're going to cover that all. Let's go. So I want to let you know that I do have some experience with this. I have worked for a lot of different clients. I've worked on a lot of different projects. And now, as the COO of Elevate, I get to work with a lot of general contractors and building owners. So I know what I'm talking about. And I've seen a lot of representative examples of clients who are attempting to push and abuse the contractor, either intentionally or not intentionally. And these are the steps. We're not going to waste any time, and we're just going to get right into them. So some of the first steps that I'm about to tell you are like some preemptive, like first steps. But if you do have a client that needs to be managed because they're a little bit toxic, we'll get into those at the end of the 14. So step number 1, try to understand your client and know their needs. The reason that I mention this first and foremost is because a lot of the behavior of a toxic client, and it doesn't mean it's right, is because they don't feel understood or listened to. So one of the first things you can do is really connect. And this is probably best done. No, not probably, definitely best done early on in the design and pre-construction phase. And that teaming before you actually start the project is crucial so that you can identify the conditions of satisfaction with the owner and with the designers and really start to build that cohesive team. When you do that, you are set up for a higher likelihood of success. So no, this is not going to fix all issues, but it's definitely somewhere to start. So step 1, understand your owner and their needs. Step number 2, try to take care of your client's needs in spite of human nature. This is what I mean by this. Humans are humans. Humans are emotional. Humans are going to do what they do. And there are systems that human beings fit into that we must understand. So we're going to take care of our clients' needs as best we can, but sometimes your owner's reps and your owners will ask for things that are not right. And they may not be doing it intentionally. It may be by accident. And so what I want you to do is to take care of your owner's actual needs, meaning the needs that are right, that are contractual, that are honest, that are moral, and that are ethical. So I want you to do the right thing in spite of perhaps the accidental human nature of asking for things that are not right. So for instance, when your owner asks you to start the project before they're ready, that should be a no. When your owner asks for workers to work in every area of the building despite the schedule, that should be a no. The owner asking for trade burdening or trade stacking that will eventually hurt people and fatigue crews, that should be a no. Doing unsafe things and out of sequence work, that should be a no. Cutting corners, that should be a no. Giving the project team too many changes to where the contractual team or the paid for team cannot any longer manage that kind of complexity, changes, and variation, the answer should be no. So we have to understand that not everything that the client asks for is right. The customer is always right. That's not actually a thing. The customer is always right when the customer is right, okay? The customer is right when it's honest. The customer is right when it's moral. The customer is right when it's ethical. The customer is right when they ask for things that don't hurt people. The customer is right when it's within the contract provisions. So we're going to take care of the client and the customer when it's right, in spite of human nature asking for things that aren't. Number 3, in order for you to provide what is right and do what is right, you have to understand the contractual requirements so you can stay within the proper bounds. Number 4, be on top of your game. Be doing your role well and respond to your requests in a timely manner. This is what I mean. A lot of times an abusive relationship with an owner will get worse if there are undone things on the contractor or trade partner side, right? If there's documentation that is not done, if there aren't 2 or 3 quotes for financial permissions, if there isn't a commitment and an execution on a short interval basis for the schedule. If we are not doing our part on the contracting and trade partner side, that just provides ammunition for that toxic relationship. So be on top of your schedule, be on top of quality, be on top of safety, be on top of costs, and do your part well and make sure to hold steady, because if you don't, it will simply make the muddy water even muddier. Number 5, look deeper into feelings. Let me give you an example before I give you the specific tips with this one. There was an inspector that I really liked. He was a great inspector. He was the general building inspector for the campus that we were on. And he would come and inspect, and he had very high standards. And as long as those were met and we were responsive, he was good. If he saw a pattern of incompetence with us, he would get really emotional, and his mind said, okay, well, if these things are not under control, then there might be a problem in other areas of the project, and he would panic, and he would start to say things like the whole project or everything's gone wrong or the whole process has gone down. He was being emotional and had a response that to me seemed disproportionate, but it's because we lost his trust, and he wanted to extend trust and sample the project. And when those samples started to tell him something different, he associated it to the entire project. We're looking at a person who's emotional, but there's a rational reason behind it. And if we get to the root cause, we can then start to manage that relationship and deliver a remarkable experience. So always be watching for human emotions. The owner or the owner's rep or the inspector for the owner could be difficult simply because they're having a hard time communicating. They could also be acting that way because throughout their career they've been incentivized to show up as the a-hole, right? The heavy. And now they're using the same pattern that they have previously been incentivized for. Or they might be frustrated and difficult because they think you're not listening. Or they have needs that you're not seeing or not connecting with. So think about it as human beings. Why are they acting the way they are? Don't just assume that they're bad people. Look at the positive intent, and when you can find the root cause, typically you might be able to gain a clue that will help you to solve the real problem. Number 6, once you see that real problem, try to see it from their point of view, connect from that point of view, and act in that point of view as if you were an extension of that owner. Number 7, always attempt to build the team. If you're finding a disconnection, can you meet? Can you discuss? Can you talk to somebody one-on-one? Can you regroup? Can you rally the team somehow and build trust, engage in healthy conflict, set goals and standards, hold each other accountable, and perform? 8, if none of this is working, can you find the right person within your organization that has this whispering effect, meaning the owner whisperer, right? Like the person that can come talk to them and really manage that relationship that seems to calm everybody down and even out the drama. And if you're doing that, and if it works or not works, I would still recommend number 9, which is hold to the right, which means you're going to hold to your flow, you're going to hold to your schedule, you're going to hold to your buffers, you're going to avoid the pushing fallacies, you're not going to injure workers, and you're not going to do stupid things just because your owner has asked you to do it. So you'll hold to doing the right things because ultimately that's what you are getting paid for. Yeah, number 10, when you do that, try to shield the team from distraction. If you're the superintendent or the PM, shield your team that's doing the right thing from the negativity, the toxicity, and the distraction of that owner. 11, if you have an owner's rep that is toxic, shield the project team contractually and from a proximity and relationship standpoint from that toxic owner's rep. And again, have that right person really manage that relationship. 12, if that's not working, set boundaries. Say, hey, if you continue to talk to my people like this, or to do this, or to encourage us to do illegal things, this is what we will do. Number 13, if that doesn't work, you may need to stop working for them. You may need to put them on notice that they are in breach of contract, that they are now abusing you as a contractor, and that you will not tolerate it, and that if they don't fix it and they don't cure the situation, that you will be discussing it with your legal team and taking corrective action on a larger scale. And number 14, whatever you do, never start doing something that is wrong because of manipulation. Hold always to this answer. What is the right thing to do? Or what is the respectful thing to do? Or what is the loving thing to do? I will not go put my trade partners in a bad situation, have them work overtime, trade stack, and do out of sequence work because it's going to hurt somebody. I will not do it. If we want to recover this project, we're going to need to talk to Elevate Construction and Lean Tact and recover it through the TAC production system and Last Planner, but we are not going to do illegal, immoral, or unethical things. Always hold the line when it comes to that. When everything goes bad, or if the project goes bad, you will never be able to say, my owner told me to. You will only be able to say, this is what I did. So always do the right thing. And really, I hope you have a great relationship. I hope early on you're able to fix it, right? I hope you're able to have a relationship like you and I have, where you trust each other, you are subscribed to the channel, you like the videos, we comment back and forth, we're jamming out. I hope you get that kind of open, transparent relationship with your owner. So I'm not hoping that it comes to that, but I do want to say you gain nothing by doing the wrong thing for the wrong reasons. Always hold to the right. Always stick to what you know you should be doing, and always protect people. If you do, you will always be able to navigate any situation with an abusive owner. And so as a free gift, I'm going to link you to a blog post that explains how to deal with difficult clients. I really hope you get quite a bit out of it and that you use it in order to improve your situation so you can enjoy your work and protect your team. On we go.